Welcome back to Strawberry Inc. Today's episode is just a little different. It's not just another standalone true crime story. It's actually the opening of a separate series I'll be creating later about a little known but deadly organization, the Freedom Front. As I've explained before, these organizations are political. They start off as a club, putting out announcement of gatherings, and then some get too extreme, gaining the reputation of a terrorist organization. Before we dive into the story of one man at the center of it all, I want to set the stage. This episode will focus more on Thomas William Manning, and through his story, we'll get a glimpse into the broader operations and history of the UFF. Thomas William Manning was born on June 28, 1946. He grew up in Boston, the son of a postal clerk, shining shoes and raising pigeons in his youth. He found work as a stock boy and construction laborer. In 1963, he joined the U.S. military. The following year, he was stationed in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and shortly after, he was deployed to serve in the Vietnam War. Sometime shortly after 1965, Manning was convicted of armed robbery and assault in a Massachusetts state court, serving the last 10 months of a 5-year sentence at the Cedar Junction Federal Prison. Well, it's not quite a federal prison, it's actually state prison. But at times, some federal inmates were put there to await trial for federal crimes. Therefore, this Norfolk facility also acts as somewhat a federal detention center. However, it is permanently closed. Manning later said during his prison time that he became politicized through interactions with other inmates. After his 1971 release, he married Carol Ann, and they eventually had 3 kids, born in the years 1973, 1980, and 1981. In 1975, Manning and his friend Raymond Luc Levasseur co-founded a revolutionary Marxist group initially called the Sam Melvin Jonathan Jackson Unit, which eventually became known as the United Freedom Front. In case you're unaware, Marxism is a view strongly against capitalism. Therefore, they believe everything should be controlled by one government institution, meaning that nobody has private property. Nobody is an entrepreneur starting their own business. Everything is owned by the government. The group carried out political bombings and bank robberies in Northeast United States between 1975 and 1984. The bank robberies were initially conducted to fund the bombings and later to support their life on the run. The group consisted of at most 8 members and was accused of 19 bombings or attempted bombings, as well as 10 bank robberies. Manning remained active in these operations even after killing a New Jersey State Trooper. That was in 1981. On December 21st, 1981, during a traffic stop in New Jersey, Manning confronted Trooper Philip Lamonaco. He did this with an accomplice. Lamonaco was fatally shot, sparking the largest manhunt in New Jersey police history. Manning remained a fugitive for nearly 3 years, appearing on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list, all while continuing to participate in UFF bombings and bank robberies. The rest of the group, Raymond and Patricia Levasseur, Richard Williams, Jan Lahman, and Barbara Curzi, were arrested on November 4th, 1984, followed by Manning and his wife on April 24, 1985. Manning was arrested in Norfolk, Virginia after nearly a decade underground. Not physically under dirt, but underground meaning hiding. He and his wife have been living under false identities, and the FBI, ATF, as well as local police agencies coordinated the raid to capture him. Manning was booked into the Norfolk City Jail, uncooperative during questioning, and then transported to New Jersey for trial. His first court appearance was before General District Judge Joseph Campbell, who ordered him to be held without bond to await trial. He waived extradition to New Jersey. Like many of his UFF members, Manning was represented by public counsel. Manning faced 3 separate cases in New Jersey for capital murder regarding the killing of Trooper Lamonaco, in Massachusetts for conspiracy, and in New York for bombing as well as robbery offenses. He pleaded not guilty in all jurisdictions. In New Jersey before Somerset County Superior Court Judge Michael Imbriani. In Massachusetts before Magistrate Lawrence Cohen. In New York before Magistrate Leonard Bernicow. In 1987, he was put on trial in New Jersey. The jury consisted of 12 members and 3 alternates. Manning claimed that he acted in self-defense when shooting that trooper. Judge Imbriani therefore removed the death penalty option prior to trial. However, that year, he was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. That was on February 19th. Manning was convicted in a separate federal case for conspiracy and offenses related to UFF operations. He received an additional 30-year consecutive prison sentence, totaling to 83 years. Manning remained incarcerated at the ATX Lawrence Supermax prison in Colorado until his death on July 29, 2019, in Brewston Mills, West Virginia, at the age of 73. His projected release date had been September 28, 2020. And he had been moved out of the Florence due to health issues. This episode of Strawberry Ink serves as a glimpse into Manning's life and the belongings of the United Freedom Front. In the coming series, I'll explore the group in depth, their ideology, operations, arrest, and how one of the most elusive domestic terrorist organizations in U.S. history operated underground for nearly a decade. Stay tuned because this is just the opening chapter. I hope to get into this new series soon, and I apologize for this episode in particular not being as informative as others. Take care, stay safe, and have a good rest of your day.